to see what has been accomplished, let us hear our LICA officers as they share their reports. Presenting the President's report, we have Brother Javi Padilla, to be followed by the Treasurer's report of Ms. Maria Lourdes de Guzman. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, good afternoon, brothers and sisters. All right, tuloy-tuloy na tayo. We have a lot to accomplish this afternoon until this evening. So I'd like to take this time out to present President's Report. Basically, a list of our accomplishments over the past 2 years. How many of you were in the biennial in Palo? How many of you attended Palo? Yan. A lot of us were there. And it was such a blessed time to see each other there. And I think in Palo, that was when we decided to have a yearly convention after this year. So this is actually our last biennial. And then you will have an annual convention from now on. So also, the last time when we were in Palo, we also decided to extend the term of our LICO board from 2 years to 3 years. So the LICO board that you are electing tonight will have a term of 3 years, starting January 1, 2026 until December 31, 2028. So for our nominees, I hope you knew that before you got nominated, so you know what you're getting into. 3 years of serving the Catholic laity in the Philippines. And for those electing, for those voting tonight, the CVs are there on the side. Please take a look. In LICO, before we get to the report, in LICO, we advocate voters' education. Diba? Every election, we're always talking about voters' education, voters' education. So it should start with us. So don't just elect people. You're not yet ready for tonight. You don't know who the nominees are. You don't know their background. So bahala na, check mo lang 15. But that's not what we're advocating. We're advocating that you actually study them, get to know them. They're all here. They'll be introduced later on. So even during dinner, you can talk to them. Let us walk our talk. We cannot advocate something in the Philippines if we do not do it ourselves in this room today. So you still have time to get to know our nominees. All right. So for our President's Report for the 2 years, 2024 to 2025, I'd just like to highlight certain activities and certain directions that we did over the past 2 years. And maybe you'll see your pictures as we move along. Do I point this there? Okay. What do I press? Down. Huh? Open it. Okay, it's off. Okay. There, okay. Hello. Okay, so 75 years of LICO. Like I said last night, it's not an easy feat to reach 75 years. And we would not have reached this milestone if not for all of you. LICO is not the board. It is not Bishop Ver. It is all of us together. So give yourselves a round of applause for making it to 75 years. It was one of our goals 2 years ago to really go around to the different regions so that we have something to celebrate today. Alam naman, we have 75 years tapos we don't have anything to show for the past years that we've had LICO. So we had to make sure that we had something to celebrate today. We even have our logo, 75 years of LICO. So you see in the cross, in case you don't know what the logo means yet, the cross came from our LICO logo. So you see the elements, and then you see the 75. So the yellow is the 7, the red is the 5. And the 7 is also the laity, the LICO, us, the lay Filipino. And on the 5, you see the Holy Spirit. So it's the laity on the wings of the Holy Spirit being moved forward as we move on from our 75th year. So hopefully, we'll be here for 75 more years. We'll all probably not be there in that 75 years from now. We won't be there anymore, but we can start building the foundation for that celebration. what we accomplished, we aimed to reignite, re-energize, and re-inform people, the Philippines, the Catholic Church, about LICO. In Reignite, we reignited LICO through our regional leaders conferences that we held all across the country. We had 11 in total over the past 2 years. How many of you attended your regional conference? Yan. We had in Baguio, in San Fernando de Pampanga, in Legazpi, in Butuan, in Iloilo, Bohol, Dipolog, Davao, and Zamboanga. Is that 11? Okay. Nueva Segovia, Samar, the locals as well. So we had 11. And we also re-energized. So we had a vibrant social media presence that pushed engagement and re-energized LICO through information, through reflections or video reflections, and through other content. Why is that important? You know, the young people, and even all of you, are on social media. How many times have you checked your Facebook since this morning? And how many times have you looked at your messenger since this morning? So if LICO is not there, then who will know about us? So we had to be present, especially where our members are present, where you are present. And we wanted to re-inform everyone. So we established and strengthened connections and collaborations with both church groups and others to build LICO's reach within and outside Catholic circles. So within the Catholic Church and even outside, we really tried to push more cooperation and more collaboration. And I'll give you more information about these. Okay. So these are our regional leaders conferences. We engaged the different regions to have regional leaders conferences. But more than having just one, we wanted to reach as many as possible. We almost made it to all regions of the Philippines. We just missed one, which is Southern Tagalog. We were supposed to have it, I think it was about July or August, but the schedules didn't quite reach. So medyo odd number, 11. It should have been 12. So our first one was in Calbayog. And then we went to Davao, then we went to Dipolog, then we went to Butuan, Iloilo, then Legazpi. Those are our first 6. And I just like to thank one of our board members who really was instrumental in helping make this happen. Doc Rene Bulyeser. Where are you, Doc Rene? Yan. My tag team in going to all these 11 regions together. You know, when you want to come up with such a big plan, you need someone who will encourage you. So thank you, Doc Rene, for your encouragement. So after Legazpi, we went to Tagbilaran. In Tagbilaran, there was a storm. We arrived, I think, on a Thursday. The storm hit Friday. So a lot of other dioceses weren't able to come because bawal na barko and all these things. So buti na lang, it was only a few days storm. We were able to fly out after the weekend. In San Fernando de Pampanga, in Zamboanga, in Baguio, and then Malolos was the 11th. These are the regional ones. Malolos was the last. So we had regional leaders conferences where we taught, not only got your feedback, not only got your reports, but we also gave you tools to re-evangelize and to bring back people in the church. And that's where we tapped our partners, the Live Christ, Share Christ mission, who was with us as well through the different 11 regional conferences that we had. So hopefully you're using the tools that they taught during these regional conferences. This is big. I thank you for your support as well. You know, I'm married to Des. She's there in the back, standing over there. And we have 5 children. So our eldest is 18, 16, 14, 12, and 10. So I definitely would not have been able to go to 11 regional conferences if not for her support and for her taking care of our 5 kids whenever I was out almost every weekend to these things. So I thank Des and I thank all of you for your support, for actually also attending these and supporting us with this project. And then we had Who Are the Laity Talks. So when we reached 75 years and when we asked how many people actually know who LICO is and what the role of the laity is, minsan you get blank stares. Ano ba yung LICO? 75 years pa hindi naman natin kilala yung LICO. And even when we had the regional conferences, we would ask them, how many of you actually knew who LICO was before that weekend? Marami talagang didn't know that we were around that we have been around for 75 years. So aside from those, we had different talks, radio shows, Veritas, always on Veritas. When there's an issue, they would always call LICO. And we would go to different parishes, different schools, different provinces. We would tap the different board members, volunteers, to really go out there and talk about who the laity is. And I think even after this 75 years, you will still have to keep on doing that. You still have to keep on telling people who the Catholic laity is and what our role is in the church. And I hope that you know what it is. Kasi nandito na kayo ngayon. We had so many talks and teachings over the past how many years. I hope you know what your role is already in the church. If not, we'll have a makeup session tonight after elections. Dito lang kayo, I'll give you the talk. Okay? Huwag kayo umuwi. Bawal umalis dito until you know what your role is. Okay, I'm pressing the wrong button. Okay. And then we also had different cooperation with different groups inside and outside the church and collaborations. So I'll just give you a few examples. One is the Eco Convergence. So it's a group of different CPCP commissions, also as well as society groups that are care for the environment. So we have regular meetings with them. They talk about different environmental issues. They're the ones who go rally on the streets, and they ask for what the stand is of the laity in different issues. Now, when you talk about what the stand is of the Philippine church, who should talk? Diba? When we say, ano ba yung stand ng simbahan? Who do we usually ask? The bishops, diba? We're always waiting. What do the bishops say? What will the bishops say? But how many percent is the Philippine laity in the Philippine church? How many percent are we? 86, 87%. Our bishops, how many percent are they? Doc Rene, how many percent are the bishops? 0.02%. So when there's an issue that the Catholic Church should speak up on, who should talk? We should be the ones to speak out. So when you talk about flood control, greed, when you talk about ghost projects, when you talk about Napoles being acquitted yesterday, when you talk about, hindi nyo alam, wala bang Wi-Fi dito? When you talk about all of these things, who should be the one to speak out first? Eh di ba dapat tayo? We should be the ones to speak out because we are the laity and this is our church, this is our country that is at stake. Of course, the bishops will support us. They will also speak up, but we should speak up first and fast. So that, eco-convergence. This second one here is the Walk for Life. We had a very good Walk for Life this year in cooperation with the Episcopal Commission on Family and Life. For the new board, that is going to be your first project, the Walk for Life next year. We have not planned anything for you because once you get elected tonight, that should be your first agenda. What is the venue of the Walk for Life in 2026? Okay. But tip, when we had it in Manila Cathedral, almost libre. Almost libre. They took care of the venue, sound system, aircon, projector. So kung gusto niya libre, pwede dyan. Okay. This one on the bottom, the first one, that is the National Coalition for the Constitution and the Family. Family and the Constitution being spearheaded by former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. A lot of our organizations and dioceses are part of this, and LICO is part of it as well. We meet every month, second Tuesday in CCF. You're all invited to come. May konting contribution lang for lunch. Pero it really discusses what we can do to promote family values, to be pro-life in the Philippines. And they actually act on it. So they have dialogue with DepEd. This is our dialogue with DOH, telling him about what hospitals are doing abortions under the table, that have transgender pills being given to underage people, underage youth. So we are giving feedback to all these people, and you can be a part of it as well. Those are the same two pictures. The third one is Kapasan with Project Inclusion, teaching the church how to take care of people with disabilities. From what we learned from our different seminars with them, a lot of deaf Catholics are becoming Protestant because there are no masses that actually do sign language. So when they go to Mass, wala silang naiintindihan. But when they go to the born again, may nagsa-sign language. So dun sila pumupunta. We also have PWDs who don't go to Mass kasi walang ramp. How will they get inside the church? So they don't go to Mass because there's no way for them to go inside. Simple things like that. And tayo as Laiko, we have the power to do something about that. Okay. And then last was SEAP. So we had a seminar in SEAP talking about the laity. We have improved social media. Before, maybe 3 years ago, we didn't have an active social media presence, but now we do. One goal is for our Facebook to reach 10,000 before the end of the year. So, ilabas nyo yung mga cellphone nyo, buksan nyo yung Facebook, hanapin nyo Sangguniang Laiko ng Pilipinas and like and follow because we are about 250 likes away from 10,000. Umakyat na yan nasa 9,750 na yata. So hopefully we reach 10,000. Why is that important? Social media lang yan. But how can we promote what Laiko is doing if no one knows where to find us? How can we talk about issues, mag-post ka about issues, mag-video, if no one sees it, what's it for, diba? So we need to reach this audience so that when we speak about something, people will actually see it, hear it, and be affected by it and do something about it. That's why we have this push. So even yung mga locals, yung mga pages nyo, I know a lot of different diocesan councils started their own pages. Yung mga national lay organizations, you have your pages, but you need to use it. Kasi minsan nandyan lang, hindi nyo naman ginagamit, walang laman. So you have to use it so that you can reach more people. The goal is to reach as many people as we can with our message, with the proclamation of the gospel, telling people that God loves them, telling that they have hope. Recently, di ba, may namatay yung anak ni Kuya Kim. But what if we reached her? What if we gave her encouragement because somehow she followed your diocesan council page or your organization page or even the Laiko page? Maybe the good content that we post would have been able to make a difference. So that should be our goal. We have reports of so many young people going through so much anxiety, and baka kayo din, may anxiety din kayo. But where can we find hope? That's what our pages and social media should show. So use your pages. And this will be a short presentation, just highlights, because I'm sure you want to know about the money of Laiko. How did we afford all of this? Yan. Because of you and because you buy tickets outside. Okay, so some of our highlights. We have our continuing partnership with the Office on the New Evangelization for the Philippine Conference on the New Evangelization. So we help them with getting people to attend. We have your Laiko member activities. So thank you for always inviting Laiko to speak, to be part of your activities. When our schedules allow, we really try to make it a point to attend all of your activities. We have our National Laity Week. Last year, the opening was in Imus, and the closing was in San Fernando de Pampanga. This year, the opening was in Lawag, and the closing was sponsored by Ligaya ng Panginoon. So that was the first time an organization actually hosted an opening or closing of the National Laity Week. And in between, you had many activities as well. So thank you for always supporting. We have our stand on issues. So we talked about flood control. We talked about all these other things with the statements that we released. And sometimes it gets picked up by news, but we will continue to speak out, like I said. We have partners in action, so NCFC, the National Coalition for the Family and the Constitution, Eco-Convergence, the organizers of the Trillion Peso March, so where LICO is part of that as well, and all these other coalitions and collaborations. We have partnered with Live Christ, Share Christ for our regional conferences that help us with the tools for the new evangelization. We have the Walk for Life, yearly Walk for Life. This year, or was that last year, Brother Dinky? Last year, we had the Global 2033, which was hosted by Lord's Flock and Brother Dinky. They really sponsored everything, and that is aiming to prepare us for the 2000th year of Pentecost in 2033. And we also had our Jubilee Conference on Prayer last year, hosted by the Diocese of San Pablo, Sis Baby. Thank you for your support. There are so many people who went to that event. And whatever the church celebrates, we celebrate as well, of course. We have new members this year, the Emmaus Movement, with Father Sebastiano, and we have prayer life workshops. And then we have a reactivation of the Confraternity of Our Lady of Grace, Mediatics of All Grace. Yeah. And then we have new applicants as well coming in. So LICO has to expand as well because we want to reach as many people as we can. And we want to make sure that LICO is known. Of course, we want Christ to be known. But in order for Christ to be known, the ones speaking about Christ should be known as well. So that's why we want LICO to be known, so that when we speak about Christ, people will actually listen to what we want to say. So a special thank you to our board. Thank you. This year, Brother Armin passed away from the Diocese of Tarlac. So we are a 14-member board. Thank you very much. It's only Brother Dan who isn't here right now because his daughter is getting married. So all the rest of the board members are here. Can you please stand up? Our current board members. Thank you for your support this year. Thank you. They're all here. Thank you for reading my various and many chat messages at all times of the day, every day. So thank you for your support in everything that we do. To Bishop Ver, thank you. I think he's in the back. Bishop Ver. Yeah, thank you. There he is. Thank you for your support as well. He also is always receiving messages from us all times of the day, every day. And thank you for your patience. And of course, LICO would not exist without Joseph and Kate. Where are Joseph and Kate? Are you there in the back and outside? Ayan. You know that Brother Joseph and Sis Kate have been employees, have been with LICO for more than 20 years now. So all the secrets, where are they? Ayaw lumabas. Ayaw nila. All the secrets of your bishop, of your diocesan leader, alam nila. So if you want the inside scoop of any bishop in the Philippines, you ask them, they know all the secrets of the different commissions. Siyempre, lahat ng staff of all the commissions, they talk to each other. So yan. So Sis Kate, Brother Joseph, really. And in a few years, they will be retiring from service. So let's use them while we can. Yeah. All right. So thank you. Really, truly, LICO would not be able to function without the two of them. So thank you as well. Okay. And our last slide. Thank you. The past 2 years truly have been an incredible experience. 2 years ago in Palo, I was up for re-election. It was only my second term. Someone told me before the election, I think you're going to be president. I think you're out of your mind. That would never happen. And then at the end of the night, I was like, oh my gosh, I was elected president. And I made a commitment that because when you're president, you cannot be re-elected. So sorry. You can write in my name. Joke lang. Hindi pwede yun. So you cannot be re-elected. So I said for the next 2 years, I'll talk to my wife, I'll talk to my kids, I'll talk to my community, Missionary Families of Christ. And I said, I'll give 100% to this mission of serving the Catholic laity. And thank you for your support. And truly, it has been incredible. There are many challenges, obstacles, and so many chat groups, maybe 100 chat groups, WhatsApp, Viber, Messenger, lahat. Chat groups all over the place. But when you give your life to the Lord and give your life for service, then He will truly use all of us to propel the mission forward. So thank you for your support over the past 2 years, and I humbly ask that you continue your support on the upcoming board as they are elected tonight. Thank you, and God bless us all.